Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. Man, it's recapping. Patrick!
Hey. What's going on?
We had a pretty productive day today.
We did.
We did a lot of things. We started off, we got a couple of practice backs. And pretty much drove in adverse weather most of the day.
Yeah.
At least we didn't start off the day with a tow truck being pulled out of the ice like the day before.
Yeah, right. That was crazy.
So no tow truck today, so that was a plus.
That's right.
But Patrick actually got to drive quite a while today, almost your whole shift on adverse roads.
Yeah.
Snow and ice and dippy stuff. Did you also kind of notice something? Because I drove the last hour of the night in here to Bismarck to finish our trip, so we'd go ahead and get to our drop tonight so we didn't have to drive far in the morning. But did you notice that I actually, when I'm training you how to drive on icy roads, that I'm actually teaching you much more conservative than what I would actually drive myself?
Sure. Absolutely.
Did you figured that out?
Yeah.
Because when I got behind the wheel, I kind of boogied on over here.
Yeah.
But I was safe. The roads actually got a little bit better.
Yeah, they did.
As soon as I got behind the wheel, it seemed like the further I drive, the drier pavement I was on.
Right.
The craziest thing, though, we come through Bismarck, and we got nice roads coming into Bismarck. And, I can take this off. Yeehaw. But we had nice roads coming into Bismarck. And we had nice roads coming through Bismarck. And right after we come through Bismarck, we're out of that Flying J that's 5 miles west of Bismarck. And the roads were absolute crap from Bismarck to here.
They were.
I mean, it was like somebody flipped a switch. You're on dry pavement, nice roads, and then all of a sudden you couldn't see the lane markers on the road. It was crazy.
Yep.
But what did you learn that the key thing about driving on snow and ice was today?
Oh, speed. Keep your speed.
Slow down.
At a safe. Keep your speed at a safe level.
Yeah, slow down.
And you'll be good.
Slow the hell down.
Slow down. Put it plainly. Slow down.
When in doubt, slow down. And what is the key, the deciding factor that I use? I didn't say you had to use it, but the deciding factor that I use if I'm going to call it a night and stop. Do you remember?
It's if
I can't drive
after you have two incidents of your wheels slipping, even at 35 miles an hour, then you call it a night.
Oh, I definitely, yeah. If truck slips out underneath me once, I pay attention. If it slips underneath me twice, that's it. I park it. But actually, the key factor, though, that I was wanting to talk about was if I've slowed down to 35 miles an hour because of weather, I'm just burning my clock.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be driving 35 miles an hour. I'm going to park it. So if I can't drive a speed to make a decent mile an hour, I might as well call it a night and park it, as far as I'm concerned. And like tonight, we're basically snowed in here. It's snowing. It's coming down.
Yeah.
And I talked to the guys inside of the truck stop, and they're saying that just about 20 miles west of here, it's totally blown over. It's ice underneath it and blowed over with snow.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there ain't nobody driving west of here tonight. So they're done.
Glad we got to where we did here. It was a nice place. We're safe and off the road. So
you got something else to celebrate tonight.
Yeah. We're tomorrow is one week remaining of training.
1 week left. 1 week of living hell, sucking life left. Hey, this is no joke, guys. You know, when it comes to getting your CDL, going through everything that you need to get your license, and then coming out here and getting with a company, and then going out with a trainer 30 days, I think, you know, everybody talks about getting the CDL and everything, but I actually think the hardest part of the whole process is the 30 days with a trainer.
Oh yeah.
It's tough, isn't it?
It is, for a lot of reasons. You're having to live you're in a small truck with another person.
Now, we don't like each other.
Yeah, right. Well, it helps if you get along better. But
I wish we had that.
Yeah, right. Right. And then you got the process of learning to drive the truck. I was lucky that I came with some experience in being able to handle the truck, you know, from a sort of a, you know, I've been through the beginning steps of it from another job. But, you know, recap here helped take it to another level. And I've certainly been able to drive in such a way that I was not comfortable with.
Yeah, I push you.
30 days
I definitely
ago.
push you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
The first time was going through the mountains on I-40, Tennessee, 16 miles of twisties, switchback city.
Yeah.
That's harsh. And I'm going to tell you, the way that you drove there the first time was a whole hell of a lot better than I drove through there the first time. Oh, my trainer was screaming at me. He was threatening me of bodily harm if I didn't speed up, because I could not. It wasn't normal. I couldn't drive it at 50 miles an hour. He threatened to yank me out of the seat, threatened to leave me on the side of the road, all that stuff. Yeah, he pushed me hard, but nowadays it's no big deal. You know, that's the deal about these big trucks, and we're really heavy today.
We are very heavy.
We are 79,600 and something pounds.
That's right.
We are right up there close to maximum. Matter of fact, it wasn't the easiest bear in the world to scale this load.
No, no, it wasn't. And we were lucky we did.
Was it 3 or 4 tries?
I think we got it on the 4th one.
Yeah. Because when they're heavy like this, you have a fine margin. When you're getting close to 80,000 pounds, there's only one hole that's gonna be legal. You got scaled today?
Yeah, we got scaled all right.
went through the Super Coupe there, just on the east side of Minneapolis. That's actually where they train all the DOT officers for the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty good. You know, before I turned the camera on, I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
How do you like our sparkles?
it's very Christmassy.
Christmassy?
Christmassy.
They're all the same color. Right?
Oh, I know. But red, red for Christmas anyway.
Yeah. Well, we got to turn on the light effects when, we're going to have dancing girls over later.
Right.
Did you call them?
Yeah, no, they wanted a credit card number. I'm a trainee. I can't afford that.
No dancing girls.
Yeah.
But, we got to stop at the Big Chief. A lot of you people like a food report.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them what you had at the Big Chief truck stop.
I had the sloppy bison burger with bison chili on it. Bison cheeseburger with bison chili.
You said that real elegantly.
Yeah. Well, I'm made for this type of thing.
We had the chili cheese bison burger.
Yeah, there you go. That was good.
That was a freaking treat, so what that is.
Yeah. I'll do that again.
John, I was telling you about it earlier, John Morgan, which was my trainee a little over a year ago. And every time he drives that lane, he stops there every single time. He never misses the Big Chief and a bison burger. But so every time I stop there, I just send him a text. Hey, I'm having a bison burger. Guess where I'm
Yeah.
at? You know, that kind of thing. You've got to meet a lot of my trainees since you come on the truck.
Yeah, yeah.
No longer trainees by no means.
No, I suppose not.
I'm actually pretty lucky. Most of my trainees stick.
Yeah, that helps when they stay around.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They stay around. They
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
They stay. They don't go anywhere. And most of them are very successful. Most of them make good money. I got one trainee that I talked to that wasn't making good money, but we talked to him and kind of figured out why he wasn't making good money. You know, here at Magnum, you can go home whenever you want. And we don't play that game that you only get so many days off or how many days you've been out. If you need to go home, go home. We do ask if you're going to be home for more than 2 weeks, leave the truck at a terminal. But if you're not going to be home for more than 2 weeks, just drive the truck home. Anyway, Lorenzo, if you're watching this, and you know who I'm talking about, because Lorenzo is quite the GQ truck driver. If you ever saw him get out of a truck, you'd never know he was a truck driver if you hadn't seen him get out of the truck. He's all Mr. GQ. Double leather patent jacket. Always looks like he just got out of the shower, all made up.
Yeah.
Pretty boy. Quite the ladies' man.
Yeah. Well, that's whatever floats his boat, you know.
He told me though he's calming down.
Oh yeah, I think he said he had a girlfriend.
He's only dating one girl right now.
Yeah.
That is so not Lorenzo.
Yeah.
So not Lorenzo. But Lorenzo has a habit of going home and staying home for a week to 10 days.
Yeah.
He stayed. I know that he went home more than a couple times in the last year that he stayed home for 2 weeks at a time, and then come right back out before his 2 weeks was up, so he wouldn't get in trouble for keeping the truck. But and that wasn't the only thing. There was a couple other things that we talked about, but we talked about that a little bit, and he ought to be making a lot better check. But just the things that we talked about, if he changes those simple things, he'll probably make another 25, 30 grand a year.
It's pretty nice.
That's a nice little step up in pay.
Yep.
What the heck is this thing? Oh. I did not recognize him when they're turning the corner. It's a snowplow without the plow blades on it. He's got the plow blades on a trailer behind it.
Yeah, I've never seen something like that. That's pretty cool. Huh.
Passing snowplows. You don't want to creep around a snowplow. You want ample speed to carry you right past him and by him, so you're beside him as little as possible.
Right.
That was another little tip that we learned tonight.
Yeah, it's easier said than done to pass a snowplow, I'll tell you what. It's kind of...
What freaks me out about going past a snowplow is it's hard to see because their lights are so bright.
Yeah.
They got the flashing lights going on and the spotlights, and they blind you.
Yeah.
And you can't see them when you're coming around. It's like, is there a blade sticking out the side of that truck or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to see. We actually got into, when we went through Fargo, right about the time the sun was coming down, it got really nasty.
Yep.
It was a blizzard. There were times visibility was definitely less than 1/8 of a mile. Snow was blowing it and getting it. It was covering up the road. The road had iced over.
Yep.
There was no wet to it. It was ice. And we saw this one cowboy coming. He came around us real fast. We were doing what, 50?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think we were doing
45, 50.
45, 50 miles an hour, minding our P's and Q's. And this guy come around us at about 60 mile an hour and cut over back in front of us. And I said, don't worry, we'll see him up here in just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did, after he got around us, he slowed down. But we did get to see him take a tractor trailer sideways right in the middle of town.
Yeah, he could have lost it right there. That's what you get for speeding. I'm not going to say his name. Not going to say the company name, but you know.
Oh, really? You took note of the company? You're that guy?
Yeah. I was. It's one I thought about applying to, but I didn't apply. You know. But his trailer slid to the left, and he just, I think he might have wet himself. I don't know, but you know.
I guarantee you, he needed a shower.
Yeah.
And a new change of clothes after that.
Right.
He saved it.
Yeah.
But and that was 100% his fault.
Yeah.
Totally his fault.
Well, we were coming down a hill, crossing a bridge, and the police were coming onto the highway from the right, and so the traffic was all slowing down even more so than before. And then he cowboys in there, and you know, he's like,
he was trying to bury his nose in everybody's ass is what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserved every bit of that. He earned it. And generally, you know, that stuff don't sneak up on you. You earn it.
Sure.
But
he was just lucky he didn't lose it altogether, I think.
He could have bought more than a half a dozen cars real easily right
Absolutely.
there.
But it kind of freaked me out because, you know, to see him wipe out right in front of me, even though he's over to the right, you know.
Well, he started out in front of us. He was directly in front of us when he lost it. And then he ended up over in that right lane.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know, he was having kittens right there in the middle of the freeway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, let me tell you.
No. All you gotta do is slow down, mind your P's and Q's, and like I kept saying all night, we got plenty of time. We got a whole lot of time and a short time to get there, so
yeah,
ain't no big hurry to get here. And not only did we have a lot of time on our clock and a short ways to get here, but you had a fresh driver with a full clock sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was awesome that you were able to take over because I kind of reached my limit.
And maybe we ought to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing about driving a full clock. You know, driving 640 miles an hour in a full clock, it'll wear you out. But driving when the roads are bad, when it's snowing and icing and everything's going crazy, and it takes 100% of your concentration every second of the day.
Yeah.
You still had a good drive, even on snow and ice all day today. You drove, I believe, 452 miles on adverse road. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about there. That's a good day.
Yeah.
That's a good day for driving through a blizzard.
Yeah, right.
No, that's a good day. What'd you call it? The Magnum Way, right?
Yeah. We were in the ice fog. Is that what they call it?
Freezing fog.
Freezing fog. Yeah, we were in the freezing fog.
Twice today.
Trucking the Magnum away. Yeah.
Twice today.
Twice. Yeah. The freezing fog was crazy because it's ice in the air, but then it also lands on the road, and you never know where it's going to accumulate and build up and turn into black ice.
To me, it's the absolute most dangerous weather effect to drive in that there is.
Yeah.
I would rather drive in snow almost to a whiteout than drive in freezing fog.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people, when you talk about freezing fog, they have no idea what you're talking about, because it's not a normal phenomenon. It's not something that you see often, but it's the temperature's low, temperature's in the 20s, low 20s, but it's foggy.
Right.
And the visibility is down nothing. And that's not just moisture in the air, that's ice crystals in the air.
Right.
And when you look at the road, it doesn't look like it's slick,
No, not so much.
but it is. It's nasty slick.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing fog, I think, can be the slipperiest effect on the road that you'll probably ever drive on. I actually consider it to be worse than black ice. And that's hard to beat. It's hard to beat black ice.
Yeah.
But like when we were coming into Fargo and the road was iced over, did you see how it turned to white?
Yeah. Sure.
How the ice all turned to white and the snow snakes quit moving
Right.
and it all just turned solid white and kind of frosty looking?
Yeah.
You can drive on that. That you can drive on. 45 mile an hour, 50, 55, you can boogie on that. When there's ice on the road and you can't see it, like a black ice, you can't drive on that. And the freezing fog that we were having today, we were actually lucky that there was enough traffic on the road that was keeping the road dried off, so the freezing fog wasn't sticking to the pavement. If we were another 10 degrees lower in temperature, we'd have had to park it.
Oh, okay.
We absolutely would have had to park it. You asked me a question after we got through Fargo. And when we got on this side of Fargo, the road started getting a little bit better for a while.
Yeah.
And then they started getting a little worse. They got downright glossy there for a little while.
Yeah.
But you asked me, if you were a solo driver, would I expected you to park the truck in Fargo?
Right. You did ask me.
And it would be up to you. If you wanted to, by all means, you could do that. But my answer to you was drive the truck exactly the way I trained you to drive it. Because it's drivable. Just slow down.
Right.
Slow down, pay attention to what you're doing. A big thing about driving on an icy road, a slick road, is you don't want to put any centrifugal force on the truck. No oversteering, no shaking the truck back and forth in the lane. That'll break the truck loose. That's how it gets out from underneath you. You don't accelerate hard. You don't brake hard. How'd you like the little braking tip?
That was good.
No jakes.
Yeah.
And to slow down, just very light taps on the brake. You're not really applying the brakes. You're just kind of tapping the brakes, letting off, tap, let off, tap, let off, tap, let off.
Yeah.
Go back and forth. Keep the tires turning. One thing you do not want to do is let your tires lock up. If your tires locked up on the ice, you no longer have control of the vehicle. So you keep the tires rolling. The other tip was when you're coming up to a bridge, take your foot off the accelerator and just float across. Keep what you got. No acceleration, no brake, no turning of the steering wheel. Just float straight across the bridge.
Yeah.
As soon as you get off on the other side of the bridge, then you can put the gas to it and get your speed back up. What else did we cover today? We cover anything that you thought was out of sorts or that surprised you?
Well, I want to emphasize lane changes. You have to be extraordinarily
Soft.
smooth and soft. You know, you got to
drive like Kitty softballs, man.
Yeah, right. You got to just sort of ease your way over to whatever your lane you're going to. I'm sort of, in my car, I'm sort of used to turning my wheel to change lanes. But you can't do that.
You don't make it happen. You more just allow it to happen.
Yeah. So in a truck, you can't really turn your wheel.
Just let it,
when you're on ice, especially because
you got to just let it float over in that lane.
Yeah, you could lose control.
And then when you come over into the lane that you want, you don't oversteer it to keep it in the lane. You just real soft.
Right.
Like I say, kitty soft paws, man.
Right.
Be kitty soft paws with the wheel. But yeah, it's drivable.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like tonight we had a trainee behind the wheel on the snow and the ice. Well, Magnum, we're known as ice road truckers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that we're up here in the north running on the snow and the ice. So they're used to us just boogieing, right?
Yeah.
You know, because we drive on it 4 or 5 months out of the year. Ain't no big deal. We do it every day. Just another day at the office. But a lot of these guys come up from and stuff. And today, we're running along at 45 mile an hour. And we had experienced drivers that would pass us at 55 and they'd go, oh shit, Magnum's going 45. Do they know something we don't know? And they'd pull over and they'd slow down. I was cracking up. Because we do have a Cincy boogie. But we have a lot of experience on snow and ice. It's just something that we do a lot of. And not saying that we're no cowboys about it. Our company is, there's no collusion here. You will never be asked to drive in conditions that you're not comfortable with. Ever. If they'll do anything, they'll give a mandatory shutdown.
Yeah.
If it's really bad, they'll issue a mandatory shutdown. And
Yep.
and I'll tell you, if they're issuing a mandatory shutdown, you can expect them to close the interstates within an hour.
Right.
Every time I've seen a mandatory shutdown, the interstate's closed within an hour that we got the word. Our boss, our CEO, Matt, he really watches the weather.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I've had drivers tell me, you know, they're out by themselves out in the middle of nowhere, Montana. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Weather's getting really bad, and their phone rings. And it's Matt, the CEO. You know, Deb was talking about that. Deb was out there, and it was a bad night. He called her and he goes, hey Deb, where you at? She goes, oh, I'm out here in western Montana. He goes, yeah, I see you out there. He goes, pretty bad storm you're in right now. And she goes, yeah, it's getting pretty nasty. He goes, what do you think? You want to just park it and we can reschedule the load for you, or you know, whatever you want to do. What he was actually doing, because Deb was going to push through, right?
Okay.
He was actually saying, you know, come on, darling, it's nasty. If you want to park it, ain't nobody gonna hold nothing against you if you park it tonight.
Right.
But yeah, he looks after us.
That's cool.
The whole time you're driving on a bad winter night, you'll be getting these emails. They're popping up on the screen, and we got an email tonight. Couldn't look at it because we were driving. Then we get on the other side of it and it says, the roads are really slick and hazardous and frozen over from the Minnesota 6 mile marker all the way into Fargo, North Dakota.
Yep.
And we just drove it. Matter of fact, you just drove it.
Yeah.
It was a nasty night. But,
Yeah.
and here's something else we were talking about. A lot of guys are scared to death to come out and training in the wintertime.
Right.
They're scared to death of the snow and the ice. What would you say about that now?
It's not that scary. You just have to know how to do it. And, you know.
And when is the best time to learn how to drive on the snow and the ice?
Oh, while you're in it.
While you got a trainer sitting next to you.
And while you got a trainer sitting next to you, yeah, of course.
Can you, if you learned how to drive, whether you did your initial driver training in the summertime, and then you drove into the winter for the first time, and you got to make it up as you go. You ain't got nobody to advise you or tell you this, that, or the other.
I might be calling recap. for over the phone winter driving tips.
Well, hey, asshole, you didn't prepare me for this.
Well, it's hard to do in the summer.
But winter, and yeah, I don't want to make anybody think that we're cowboys or super truckers or nothing else like that, because we are extremely careful when the roads get bad. We slow down, but we do take really good care. And people also might be amazed at how much I drive on snow and ice. I never chain up. I never chain up the truck.
Yeah.
If I have to chain up the truck, I should be parked somewhere.
Right.
That's as far as I care about it. If I have to put chains on the truck, I should be parked. Because if you got chains on your truck, you don't want to drive over 35 mile an hour with chains on your truck. And what's my rule? If you can't drive faster than 35 mile an hour, park the truck, right?
Yep.
So it makes no sense to me to chain up the truck. I'm not going to get out there in the weather, put chains on to drive 35 miles an hour, get nowhere in 2 hours, take chains off. No, I'll just park it. And generally by the time you park it, you take your 10-hour break. The road crews have, the storms pass. The road crews have got out there and fixed the roads, and everything's back to hunky-dory. So by the time you get off your 10-hour break, the roads are all clear. It's time to boogie.
Yep. That's right.
So Patrick actually caught me doing an email tonight. I sent it to Tony Dahl.
Yeah.
What were we telling Tony?
You told Tony that I was making good progress in my training here, and I'd be ready for my truck
Next Friday.
A week from tomorrow. Yep.
Solo Patrick.
Yeah, Solo Patrick. That's right.
Yeah, we need a truck to put this man into. When we get a truck ready for a driver, it goes through the shop. They make sure everything's all up to snuffy with the truck. You know what they do with it right after they take it to the shop? When it comes out the shop, it's all up to snuffy. They take it to a professional detail shop. Have the full interior professionally detailed.
Oh, sweet.
So when you get in the truck, it'll be like a brand new truck. You'll get in it and go, I thought this was an older truck. And you'll get it and it'll look like it's brand new.
Oh,
It'll smell brand new. The floors will look brand new.
Yeah.
It looks like a brand new truck.
Awesome.
That way when you go turn it back in, you bring it back to us, we go, what the hell is this?
Yeah, right. Now I'm paying for the detailing to return the truck.
Well, one of my buddies, every time they come into Fargo, they try to come into Fargo every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And they take the truck and have it detailed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Nice.
You think I'm a clean freak? They're a real clean freak. Let's see. What else could we talk about?
It's a good thing to do to keep the truck clean. I'll be keeping mine clean. I know that.
It's really not that hard.
No, it's not.
Well, we did that the other day. Went through the blue beacon. Used the vacuumed out the interior of the truck.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, I think. Vacuum it on a regular basis.
We still got to detail the interior.
Yeah.
When I say detail the interior, I like to use the green cleaner, Fantastic Green, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I wipe down the whole interior of the truck with that, and then I do Armor All on all my surfaces, and then I actually take the Windex to the gauges and pull out the Q-tips and do the vents.
Oh, yeah.
And do all around the knobs and everything in there. In other words, I do a full detail on the dash and the front cab of the truck.
Well, we haven't had time for all that. We've been so busy.
Well, we've been driving.
Yeah. Yeah, Magnums, they don't have any trouble getting lows, let me tell you. They got plenty of it to run.
January's a slow month.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing it as slow.
We don't spend a lot of time slow.
No, we're not sitting around waiting for lows, let me tell you.
Yeah, January is our slowest month, and I'm still not going to have any problem. I'll be a little over 10,000 miles. I got you on the truck on the 10th, right?
Yeah.
I already had 3,000 miles down. We 8,000 miles in your training, so I'll be, and we're going to run over the first, so I'll be right at about 10,000, 10.5 for the month of January, slow month.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm ready to get to my late night snack and then hit the hay. You had your late night snack already.
Oh, you're waiting on the get the video done to chow and go to bed?
Yeah.
Well, we all probably ought to say good night to these good folks.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe even learned a little something off of it. The weather gets nasty. Slow down. Drive to your capabilities.
There you go.
And if it gets beyond your capabilities, by all means, park the truck. A load is not worth it. You can always reschedule a load.
Right.
That is no big deal. By the way, when we're carrying a load, it's our freight. It's not a brokered freight. The only time we carry brokered freight is to get us home or to get us to our next customer. So it's all direct customer freight. So we have no problem calling the customer saying, hey, our truck ran in some bad weather, they're going to be a day or two longer.
Yeah.
That's a no biggie with us. A load is not worth your life.
Right.
Nor our equipment or none of that stuff the way we think about it. Takes no chances. No chances.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's get there and call it a night.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I was actually surprised about?
Huh.
When we got stopped here and I took Bang out for a walk. In the blowing, freezing snow, this man gets out and does a post trip.
Oh, yeah.
Checked all of his tires. I heard him go dunk dunk. I looked around and you were doing a post trip. And I go, dude, out of any nights you could have skipped it. You could have. If you'd have skipped it and not done it, I wouldn't have said a word tonight. It's a nasty night.
Well, you told me to come prepared, and I did.
You did, man. You did. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. God bless you, each and every one. We'll probably see you tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
But remember, you two can change the world. All you got to do is be nice to each other. Bye-bye.